The post office operators will not get all its payouts by March deadline, says Minister. I'm going to read into this more from The Guardian, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from The Guardian with the headline that post office operators will not get all their payouts by March deadline, says ministers. Gareth Thomas admits the compensation date for those caught up in the Horizon IT scandal is difficult to achieve. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. So we have money for Israel. We have money for the military. We have money for the war in Ukraine. We have money for big projects. We don't have money for compensation. This is what the notification and the idea that I'm getting here. Now, saying that they're implying that they are going to still get the compensation. It's just going to take longer. Why not just ensure it gets done? Now, this is obviously a bit of a hint as to what could potentially happen at the end of this month with regards to the budget as well. I don't know if the post office scandal and the compensation will be brought up within the budget. I think if it wasn't brought up, I think there'd be some anger, especially for those who have suffered long enough as a result of what's happened to them. So, are they going to get the compensation? Are they going to get anything from the budget with regards to it? Is there going to be money put aside to it? We're kind of scratching our heads here. You know, they were told a deadline and now they're pushing back that deadline. Sounds very conservative, doesn't it? Let's read a bit more into it, you guys. So, post office operators affected by the Horizon IT scandal will not receive payouts by March 2025. Deadlines called for by campaigner Sir Alan Bates, the postal minister, has admitted. Gareth Thomas said it would be difficult to achieve the deadline, but promised there would be substantial progress towards clearing the compensation paying backlog by next summer. So they're saying that the majority. So what they're implying here is that the majority of the backlogs of compensation payments will be dealt with by them. You see, you kind of just like this is the problem. A lot of people are kind of like waiting on the Labour to get things done. And it does all. Sadly, a lot of these things roll around the Labour, the budget. I don't know if people want to buy into this or not. Last week, Bates said he might once again take legal action if the compensation progress was not resolved more quickly. It does. Will say this. It does take time to sort this out. To gather the compensation, but at the same time, it's like when you see the money that's rolled out to Ukraine, to Israel. It's very infuriating when they can literally have money ready to go, but they can't have the money for something like this just to be dealt with from a financial point of view, at least. If we need to fundraise for a court case, we will, said Bates, who leads the Justice for Subpostmasters Alliance last week. Last week, Bates said a letter to hundreds of former branch owner-operators calling for a March 2025 deadline for a financial redress for those affected by the Horizon scandal, in which hundreds of post office operators were wrongly pursued through the courts over the account shortfall that were later linked to a faulty IT system. I wish I could commit to Sir Alan's timeline, says Thomas, speaking to the BBC Breakfast on Wednesday. I think we will have made substantial progress by next summer. The inquiry into the scandal heard testimony on Tuesday that claimed that the compensation strategy had previously been focused on saving taxpayer money, as opposed to the supposed goal of full and fair compensation to those affected. Why are those responsible not paying out for this, and why is it at the expense of taxpayers? That's not right. I'm infuriated that it's coming out of taxpayer money, but at the same time, it's like I understand because the government can't really do. There's only so much the government can do in terms of getting money from the companies and the people responsible. The people responsible should be in prison. Let's be clear. People responsible should be in prison. Those people who are responsible for this, they should be paying out of pocket, not taxpayer. It's the system we have which is the problem. Yes, obviously the government should be just getting the money, putting the money to them, and getting the money to these compensation and be done with it, rightfully so. But the system is not fair in any way as well. The former Post Office chair Henry Salton told the hearing that during his time in the role, he formed a view that the state-owned body had a bureaucratic, unsympathetic and advantageous approach. With respect to remediation, the government and Post Office were dragging their heels, he said. Bates said last week the financial redress schemes can't be allowed to drag on for years again. There's no reason, it's just bureaucracy driving them into the ground again. There are potential legal avenues that we can take, but it's going to be another year, 18 months for the group. If we can't get these things resolved shortly, if we can't get an affirmation of them by March 2025 deadline, then we may as well follow other routes. Last month, Bates said the Department of Business and Trade appeared to be trying to get away with paying out as little as possible to victims while maximising the income for the legal firms involved. Between 1999 and 2015, more than 900 post office operators were wrongly prosecuted for the faulty Horizon IT accounting system that made it look like money was missing from the branch accounts. Yeah, this is the faulty ID scandal for those who aren't aware of it. But yeah, it's 9 post office operators. That's what they're implying here in this piece here, from the Guardian and those who are at the head of this. And I have to say, obviously, if it is true that the government is delaying this, if they are trying to slow down with this in any way, shape, or form, then they should hang their heads in shame. I completely understand the argument that people will make is that it's not Labour's fault that the compensation wasn't done sooner, it was the Conservatives' fault. I totally understand that position. But then, as much as you want to say about the Conservatives in 14 years and they could have done something about this, they could have done things sooner and blah, 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 blah. That's the past now. They are not the government, the Labour Party are. They're the ones now who ultimately have the power in their hands to deal with this. And this is, once again, a political choice. The argument is that they are using taxpayer money to pay out some of these compensation schemes, and they don't want to push more taxpayer money out of it. Part of me understands that, because they want to stop, obviously, taking money away from taxpayers who are already struggling as it is. Totally understand it. But the other thing is that, do you really want to have to go through a legal case here through them? Why not just ensure that all the payments get done and dusted? How about, instead of giving weapons and arms to Israel for one time, why don't we just divert all that money towards paying off the rest of this compensation? Why not just reduce the military budget temporarily and pay this off? There's plenty of other. Why not do a one payout of tax in the wealthy to pay out for it? Why not any of these instead of the general people, the regular taxpayers in society? There's plenty of other ways this can get done and dusted, in terms of compensation, of course, but that doesn't appear to be the case. There are options and there are avenues that the government can take to sort this out. This is a political choice, and the Labour government are choosing not to get this done as of right now. So what do you guys think? What do you guys make of the situation around the compensation for the post office, the compensation for the post office operators who were wrongly convicted, wrongly lost everything as a result of the actions by the IT Horizon scandal? Do you think the Labour Party should put their hand in their pockets and get this done and dusted, so that at least from a financial perspective this is over? Let me know what you guys think and more down in the comment section below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you could do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.